this is what we're doing for our meal prep today. I just kind of pulled everything out. We're going to do some sweet potatoes, and we got one or two of those. Those are the Japanese ones. I can't remember what this one is called. That's just a regular sweet potato or yam. So we're going to try them all out and see which ones we like. I like these ones just really cooked well and then just eat them cold. They're delicious. So that's part of it. We have our zucchini, some mushrooms. We're going to make a zucchini lasagna. I'm using lentils to make it, to beef it up a little bit. I have some organic marinara. And then we're also going to make some tofu ricotta because you just have to. And super simple. All of our spices are out. And then we're also making a curried butternut squash soup. So
Hey, it's meal prep time today. Welcome to my channel, guys. My name is Vicki-Lynne. Cheers. And on my channel, I do plant-based cooking with no oil on a journey to lose some weight, lower my cholesterol, and move my body every day. So if you're on a similar journey or you just want to follow along, feel free. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we have a great Facebook group, guys, so go over there and the link will be down below. Come join us. It would really mean a lot. So I gave you an overview of what we were doing, and so I'm just going to put the sweet potatoes in the oven. I'm going to bake them at about 400 degrees, and I have 3 different ones, and I actually want to try the difference because I have these two. They look very similar, but this one's the sweet potato, and I mean this might be the yam. I'm trying to remember, and then the oriental or Japanese sweet potatoes, sorry. Okay. So those are going in the oven, and I don't poke holes or anything in them because I want them to get all caramelized inside. Oh, and if you ever have sweet potatoes left over, I made a fabulous chocolate pudding out of them, and I'll link that up there for you. Okay. That's one thing done. I need a drink. Remember to stay hydrated. Perfect. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our marinara sauce together. I'm going to kind of do it like a bolognese. And I'm going to add my lentils. And again, you know I make big batches of whatever bean I'm cooking that day and then freeze them nice and flat. They just stand up. They're awesome. So we're going to need the onion and some garlic. And I am just going to use up this garlic because it's almost done. The other thing, with the onions, you know the carrying case that the onions come in? If you've watched my sprouting video, you can actually use this with just a mesh jar to make your own sprouts at home, and so much cheaper. And I'm just going to use half of an onion in the pasta sauce and the other half of the onion in the curried soup. And if you've been here before, you know I save my vegetable scraps in a freezer bag. And then when my freezer bag gets big enough, I make stock. And let me give you a great tip. When you're meal prepping, make more than one. Just make a big batch. You're already cutting up your vegetables and stuff. Make a big batch. Same thing with your soup. I always make a big batch. And I just do that right in my Instant Pot. Just turn it on to soup. And then just add a couple of bay leaves and you're done. Okay. So this one will go here. We might as well cut them both up at the same time. We're just going to dice them. Also going to do some mushrooms. That's going to add like a meaty component to the sauce. Now, if you didn't have lentils or you didn't want to cook lentils, you could also throw in some TVP, which is textured vital protein. Really good, high in protein, that's the name. And just rehydrate it with some water or some stock first, and you'll be good to go. I think that's enough, maybe one more. One more, there we go. Now, do you wash your mushrooms under the sink, or do you wipe them with a paper towel? Let me know. Everybody has a thing about how they want their mushrooms. Because I don't need these ones to actually brown, I'm just going to rinse them just to make sure these ones are a little bit more dirty.
Just gonna kind of dice them small. You could leave them bigger if you want it like bigger chunks, but I think they're gonna cook down anyway. I think they're just gonna be perfect like that. Another tip when you're doing your meal preps, try to clean up as you go. Always take a break, kind of in between things, just to wash a few things up, get a few things drying, put a few things away. It's all about time management. So we're going to water saute. Just putting a little bit of water in the pan as it warms up. Gonna throw our onions in. We're gonna add our mushrooms at the same time. And we're gonna saute those for about 5 minutes. Add in a couple of cloves of garlic and let that continue to cook for another minute or two. Now we're gonna add in our marinara sauce. And this is the easiest way, honestly, some onions, some spices to zip up a jar sauce. If you didn't have any jar sauce, you could actually use crushed tomatoes or diced tomatoes and then blend it if you want later. And then what I like to do is put a little bit of water in the jars to clean them up. Another budget-friendly tip is you can always water down your pasta sauce a little bit. Give it a good stir. We're going to add in a couple of bay leaves, some oregano, Italian seasoning, and of course some basil. There we go. Doing like a teaspoon and a half of each. We're going to let this come to a simmer, and we're just going to let it simmer away for a little bit. Let all the flavors meld together. Let's make our tofu ricotta. Super simple. You're just going to need a block of firm, extra firm, or my preference, or even super firm. And we like this on just crostinis. I make this almost like a lemon ricotta. And you could flavor it. You could do whatever you want. It's your ricotta. We're going to add in our garlic. We're going to add in some of our nutritional yeast. And the recipe is already on my website, guys, but I'll leave it down below for about 3 tablespoons, give or take. I also like to add in some fresh lime zest. Anytime I use fresh lemon juice, or fresh lemon zest, not lime, sorry. Anytime I use lemons, even if it just calls for me to juice one, I always do the zest first and keep it in the fridge, lasts a long time. You can always throw it in the freezer too, because we like our lemon blueberry overnight oats. So we have our lemon and our lime, we have our lemon zest in there. We're just going to put our lemon juice. I also like to add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And so I do about a teaspoon or so, and then I'll do half of the lemon and start blending it, and then I'll decide if it needs more or less, or I'm going to add just a little bit of salt and some freshly black pepper, and then we're just going to pulse it. It is going to leave a little bit of water, usually between 1/4 cup and 1/2 cup. That's all set. Now we just have to slice up our zucchinis and we'll be all set. You can use a mandolin to slice your zucchinis. Does a pretty good job, but this one, mine doesn't have a lot of gauge on it, and I do want them a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to try it for now and then probably go by hand later. Now this time I am not going to actually pre-cook them. I'm just going to make 2 loaf pans. Okay, so our sauce is done. I'm just going to just put a little splash on the bottom so that the zucchini doesn't stick. And then a light coating on that one. I'm going to add in our ricotta. And then you're just going to continue doing your layers between your sauce, your zucchini, and your ricotta. And we're just going to continue to do this until our whole pan is filled up.
While I was making the ricotta, I did throw in the lentils into the sauce, just so you know. The last thing we're gonna make is that curry butternut squash soup. I've already cooked my butternut squash, so I just roasted it in the oven. Makes this come together very quickly. If not, I'll leave instructions on how to do this in a pot, but we're just gonna do this in a blender because we just need to season everything. Start with that. We're using curry powder and you want to bloom it, so I just put it in a dry pan, warmed it up until you can smell it, and then we're just going to blend this at this point, and then we're going to see where we are and what we need to do. So this is going to depend on how quick you want your soup. So wasn't that a quick and easy meal prep and super healthy, and we're using up stuff that we have in the house. It's very easy to do this. Again, and then for the broth that I used in the curry butternut squash soup, I just used the no chicken bouillon. And I'll have the recipes guys down below. And watch out for the curry that you use. This one's actually very spicy. So all curries are not equal, just so you know that. So there's mild, medium, and hot. And everybody has their own like curry because it's just a mixture of different spices together. Thank you for joining me again. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our Facebook group and send me some comments. Answer anything. Ask me anything. We'll see you in the next one, guys.